Welcome everybody to TSDitto Reacts. Let's get into the video.
You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop him!
It is
This is the police. This is the police. The troops are on their way.
New York 2022. The mindless activities of humanity have led to environmental pollution and global warming, complicating life for mankind. The polluted atmosphere has destroyed nearly all natural wildlife, leaving people to fend for themselves. Natural foods are scarce, and people survive on concentrates produced by the large corporation Soylent. Their latest product, Soylent Green, is made from plankton and promises to feed everyone. However, it is currently produced in insufficient quantities. New York Police Detective Frank Thorne lives with his old friend, former police analyst Solomon Sol Roth, who has an excellent memory and serves as a kind of archive for Thorne. Moreover, he has preserved a police reference library to help his friend with investigations. This day begins with a conversation about a recent murder. Sol grumbles that Thorne expects too much from his notes. This isn't the Congressional Archive. Meanwhile, the power goes out. Sol reminisces about the old days when food was real and electricity worked without interruption. But people ruined nature, and now everything is dying. The man sits on a bicycle, which generates energy for the apartment, while Thorne heads to work, stepping over the bodies of homeless people sleeping right on the staircase of his building. The streets are clogged with old cars that, due to a lack of fuel, now serve as homes for the poor or as venues for criminal meetings. In one of these cars, a young man named Gilbert receives a metal meat hook and instructions for an upcoming job from a criminal world representative. Meanwhile, in the apartment of the wealthy William Simonson, his girlfriend Shirley plays on a machine gifted to her. She is very pleased with a successful move and thanks her master when the security guard Fielding arrives to remind the girl that it's time to go. The couple heads to a store where the vendor sells them expensive products and shows them an item completely unattainable for ordinary people, a beef tenderloin. At this time, Gilbert uses the hook to infiltrate the residential complex for the privileged and ascends to Simonson's apartment. Seeing the young man, the wealthy man remains completely calm, making no attempt to flee or call for security. Gilbert apologizes and explains that those who sent him can no longer rely on Simonson's silence. The wealthy man agrees with all his arguments and calmly confirms that what Gilbert is about to do is necessary for God. The young man raises the metal hook and strikes Simonson on the head. Sometime later, Thorne arrives at the deceased's home to investigate the case. He questions the caretaker, who assures him that the cameras malfunctioned, and leads the detective to the apartment where Shirley meets him. Ignoring her, Thorne examines the body of the deceased. Searching the apartment for clues, Thorne finds and consumes whiskey, beef, and other foods unavailable to him. Fielding talks about the shopping trip, and the policeman enjoys washing his hands in clean, warm water. He then collects the found papers, some pleasant items like toiletries, and the food into a separate...
Hey, yo, check this out. Where is the world getting all of these animals to cook up all this food in all these restaurants and grocery stores? Google says that there's over 20 million restaurants that's in the entire world. But yet, that amount may be wrong because there's new restaurants and establishments that serve food every day being open that's not quite tracked. When you add that to the fact that there's hundreds, if not hundreds of millions of grocery stores that serve meat to cook the food that we eat, it begs the question, where are they getting all of these animals to serve to people every single day? You got fast food restaurants, you got dine-in restaurants, you got little mom and pop restaurants, and then you got all of these supermarkets that's serving all of the same meats, and it's like, where are all of these motherfucking animals at that you guys are serving to us? Have y'all noticed that some of the meat paws that we're eating is not quite right or like it used to be in the past? Chicken falling apart when you wash it, beef just ain't quite right or tasting the same as it used to, and I don't even fuck with pork, to be honest with you, but I don't see wildlife or wild stock just kind of, when I drive around, especially in rural areas, I don't see that shit like that. And this is happening all over the world. But one thing I do know is millions of people, 8 million people, I believe is what it said, go missing each year and are never found. Where are they at? Where do they go? All I'm I'm saying is you might want to be careful the next time that you go to the grocery store or you buy the specialty of the day on that dish menu at the restaurant. I'm just saying. So filthy.
Start with a
Pause. Okay. I noticed a long time ago that something was going on with the chicken. I mean, when you have a chicken breast that's as big as my head, you know, and I got a big head, you know that there is something going on. The chicken shouldn't be that big, let alone just the breast, okay? Also, the wings. If the wing is as big as my arm, I'm not eating that. Chicken tenders. I met a farmer once, the daughter of a farmer, and she said, "What's a chicken tender?" I said, "You know, the chicken tender. What's a chicken tender, Tina?" That's basically what she said. And I was like, that piece that's like, she said, "There's no such thing as a chicken tender." Where would it be? I mean, if you take a whole chicken breast and you cut it off the bone, the rib, where would it be? What piece is that? To be perfectly shaped and all that. It was a valid question now that I'm thinking about it. But when you bite into one of those giant chicken breasts, there's this crunch that goes on. What is the crunch? Where did that come from? So I don't trust chicken breast anymore. I might eat a chicken wing, but it has to be a normal size, smaller than my arm, and not as small as a pigeon, no, because I don't trust that either. The ones at the Asian food places, they be too small, so I'm not messing with that. Also, I stopped eating beef about 30 years ago. Mad cow disease did it for me. Watching a cow runny nose and 5 legs coming off his back, I didn't want to eat that. So I stopped eating hamburger and beef, no steak, no nothing. But I do not mess with ground meat. I must be really, really, really starving to death if I'm going to eat anything ground. Now, I used to eat a particular brand of sausage because it had like some seasoning in it. I think it was called rice, and it was in an orange tubey thing. But I really don't want to mess with it because I don't know what's ground up in it. If I were to eat turkey breast, ground turkey, it would have to be the breast, and it would have to say lean. But still, I don't trust it. So what are they doing to our meat? And now that they're talking about this Soylent green thing, I'm sorry. I'm scared to death. And my diet is already messed up. I got the diabetes, y'all. But we have to be careful. And people do go missing. And you never hear from them again. And we cannot assume that everybody is going into that TRFFK word. Praying for those people also. But are they feeding us human beings? I put a separation in there just in case it gets flagged. I don't want it to get flagged, but we need to ask the question. Okay, y'all, let's keep going. I'm so afraid to eat. I don't know what to do.
Developing story in New Iberia where police are investigating after a body was found in the freezer of a fast food restaurant. You're looking live at the scene, the Arby's on Admiral Doyle Drive. I spoke with New Iberia police tonight who tell me employees made the discovery shortly before 6:30.
Arby's, we have the meat.
You can even order ahead.
Hold up, Wendy's. We gotta talk. Real food? Real people? Of course, this food is amazing. Best burgers in town. Can't forget about that 5 for 5. That kept the hood alive. We could never forget about Dave's Triple. I grew up off of this. I used to work at Wendy's. Yeah, when I was in high school. I came out of high school, went straight to work. And I could tell you, back then, the burgers were way better. They're still good right now, but back then, they were way better. I used to make them myself. I used to make a quadruple burger. I should have never did that. Real food, real people, we got you. Thank you. Can't forget about the Frosty. I'm about to go there right now. Y'all better not just leave this on the table. Somebody better eat this. Why would you put that caution sign next to this sign? Why would you do that? Move it, please. You know why I stopped working at Wendy's? The manager caught me eating a chicken nugget. He got rid of me. This food is so good I couldn't resist. He caught me eating a chicken McNugget on the job. And they let me go. Those were the good old days. Right there in Manhattan, I used to work on West 4th Street. Remember? This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting people know that Wendy's has amazing food. And I'm also letting them know that I used to work there. And I miss that place. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
Don't ask questions.
Okay, so I did used to eat the Wendy's. Now, I was probably in my early teens, but yes, the Wendy's was a good burger. But, I mean, just to think, it did have a specific taste. So I'm just saying. Let's get back into the video.
You don't want to know the answer to. Have y'all seen the video of that guy who said that his side hustle is a grave digger, and that him and his coworker went to, do their job. And while they were lifting up the casket, he noticed that it was extremely light. And he asked his coworker, like, yo, why is this so light? And the guy was like, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. So then right after that, I saw this lady who used to work for the cemetery. And she pretty much said, like, there's no way all these people that have passed on, there's not enough room for them. There's definitely not enough room for them. And she was like, if you really want to know where they go, check your restaurant, check your grocery stores, She's like, I lie to you not, this is what's going down.
What they doing, y'all? They always say it's in the movies. Give you a heads up.
McDonald's, which is located in Italy, go in and see 2,000-year-old skeletons from within the restaurant. Like, they're in the floor, just there, for people can see. I mean, there is glass, but it's still kind of bizarre to just be there having a fucking burger and seeing dead people on the floor. I mean, I just can't imagine myself eating a burger and having to see that. I just wouldn't have the appetite to do that. I mean, there has to be people that just go inside that McDonald's just to see those skeletons, right? And if you're wondering why those skeletons are within that McDonald's, it's because these skeletons were from Roman times, and the construction workers that were building this new McDonald's in, I believe, 2014, I don't know if that's relevant or not, contacted McDonald's, and McDonald's just jumped at the opportunity to like have these in display. They spent like $300K more to develop additional funds over the years to maintain and protect the site, and that's why that's there. I tried to find more information about these skeletons and their backstories, but I couldn't really find anything. It's pretty much a mystery, but yeah, now you know why there are skeletons in a fucking McDonald's.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food.
It's in the movies, y'all.
You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger. I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Soylent Green is people!
That movie was a long time ago.
We are eating Soylent Green, y'all. This is no joke. All fast food restaurants is Soylent Green. That's what Putin said, Russian president. He said he got the videos to prove it, and he will put it out next week. And he has information on 911. You know what I'm talking about in New York. Y'all gonna be surprised to know who was behind 911. But for right now, y'all, if you eating fast food restaurant from Burger King, McDonald's, Sonic, Longhorn, Applebee's, Chili's, Chick-fil-A, you are eating Soylent Green. That's right, you are eating Soylent Green, y'all. Everyone has eaten it, even me. Yep. It's in the ground beef, ground it up. You'll never know. So, like I said, the best food right now to eat is from a butcher, or, you know, go to your local grocery stores. You might.
Thankfully, Soylent Green did not accurately predict that humanity would resort to cannibalism in 2022. Or did it? Soylent Green, the movie came out in 1973 and actually got a lot right about the modern day, like overpopulation, climate change. And then, of course, you have the big twist at the end where the food substitute Soylent is made of people, and then Charlton Heston runs out in the streets screaming, "Soylent Green is people." Now, the year 2022 has come and gone, and corporations are not yet just taking human beings and turning them into smoothies we can all drink. But 2022 and several of the years preceding it have kind of come up with this fascination with cannibalism. You had the movie Fresh came out where Sebastian Stan eats people. Same year we got Bones and All, also about cannibalism. Tender as the Flesh came out in 2017, but it also takes place in a dystopian world where, spoilers maybe? Come on. Is it a coincidence that this docu-series came out in 2022? Maybe Soylent Green was onto something.
When they're feeding the dead to the living, you know the end is near.
Hey, watch that video for full context of what I'm about to say. You know, I've driven from Ohio to Colorado, from Georgia to Texas, from Georgia to Ohio. And when I was driving, I drove through a lot of the country lands of America. And, there's 300 million people here in America. And when I was driving, I just didn't see enough cows and pigs that were just out roaming to be able to feed 300,000 people 3 times a day. To be able to fill the grocery stores, to be able to fill all of these restaurants that's on every corner. So it just makes you wonder, where's this excess of meat coming from? I might be wrong, but it's just something to make you say,
Pause. Okay. If any one of us were to go on a road trip at this very moment, well, it's nighttime now, so that doesn't count, but during the day, road trip, cross country, and you go past these farms, see the big red barn, you see tons and tons of field. You probably count on both hands how many cows you'll see. You probably won't see the chickens at all. Not that close to the highway, whatnot. Cows. Never really seen a giant pasture of cows on any road trip. But you would think as much hamburger meat as we've eaten throughout our lives. Not mine. Past 30 years, no. As many hamburgers go through this house a day. It'd be cows everywhere. Everywhere. The whole cow is not hamburger meat. Each part of the cow's anatomy, muscular anatomy, I would probably say, is a different cut of meat. I don't know. There is a conspiracy there. There is a question. We need answers. Back to the video.
What kind of meat is that? It looks like skin, so smooth. And it doesn't even look like cow meat or something like that.
That's a real question.
Think about Soylent Green and other things that are being revealed to us now in recent years. I stopped eating meat over 2 years ago. It was just something about it I just knew. I knew years ago when I started seeing this substance they was putting in the meat called meat glue, where they was bonding the meat together, and I would see just how weird the stuff looked that I was buying in the stores. And whenever I would get around that meat glue substance, I would just cut that part of the meat out of my food while I was preparing it, right? Because I knew something was weird about it, but then they started using it in restaurants. Like Soylent Green, they have people that would deny that claim that you eat human meat. But how do you know? Like when most people go in the grocery store, they don't even read the ingredients to anything. Like it tells you everything that's in what you're eating, because part of universal law is that they have to tell you what's going on. And a lot of times they tell you in TV shows, movies, music, and whatever type of entertainment they can put it out there. And they use subliminals. it's up to you to pick up on it, but people see that as entertainment. But like I say, they have the ingredients on everything in grocery stores, mostly everything, and people don't even take the time to understand what they're eating. It's just like understanding terms and conditions. So think about fast food restaurants. Like they say, they sell chicken everywhere. They sell chicken at places that, and I'm a quote unquote chicken. They sell chicken at places that don't even specialize in chicken. It's a pancake house. We got chicken sandwich. It's a burger place. We got chicken nuggets. We got chicken wings. We got pizza. We got chicken wings. Everybody got chicken wings on their menu. But the thing about fast food places and restaurants in general, different from grocery stores, right, is that they don't tell you what they're using to make the products. You don't have a list of ingredients on the menu. You're like, just let me get that double such and such mega melt patty with pancake sauce on it and steamed syrup and all this magical creative burgers that they make. And you're like, ooh, give me that. And you don't even know what they use to make it. You just eating it because it tastes good. Of course it tastes good, dummy. Of course it tastes good. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They lure you in with the stuff that tastes good. Everything that tastes good ain't good for you. That's all I'm going to say, man. That's all I'm going to say. But do your own research. But more importantly, do whatever you want. You can take whatever it is. When people trying to inform people, I don't care, man. I'm going to keep eating what I'm eating anyway. Go do your thing. Do your thing. The only last thing I'll say about it is when they start revealing stuff publicly. Notice like when the media, right? They start to put information out there. It's already too late. Like, we've been eating this stuff forever. They talking about Soylent Green now. That movie they made about it was like in the early 70s. They was warning us about it then. So I remember when hamburger places started replacing like the all beef with soybean burgers and all that type of thing. It's like, man, they been tampering with food, the water. Anyway, I got nothing but love for y'all. Just think for yourself and listen to your soul in regards to anything in this life. Everything that's a conspiracy theory, I think I heard somebody say this before. Conspiracy theories are always proven right as time goes by. You know, they seem as crazy in the beginning, but over time, you're like, dang, they were right. Think for yourselves.
That was some turkey ground. That's what you said. Felt like meat. I needed some meat in my life. Not that one. Yo, sometimes you just need a little meat. There's nothing wrong with it. Moderation. I just know there's not enough animals to stock up all the grocery stores that exist. Like you go to your neighborhood, go a 20-block radius. Look at how many grocery stores there is. Now, do you believe there's really that many animals still on this earth to just produce enough meat for just that area? So I know it ain't real, but it's still gonna taste good, just like the Matrix. There are five major grocery stores on the main drag of my neighborhood. 5. It's not even 5 miles. So just think of the meat section of each one of those grocery stores. And I can't even, there's thousands and thousands of people in this area. This is a major area in St. Louis. Ferguson, Florissant, pretty much. And everyone's heard of Ferguson. And that's a whole different county. So Ferguson, Florissant itself is where I live. That's a lot of meat. There used to be a farm at the end of my block. Where'd those cows go? There wasn't enough cows to feed however many people lived at the farm. So, and that poor rooster that used to be on the end of my block, that thing left 20 years ago. I'm sure it would have, but somebody scooped that thing up and ate it. Because it was just a friend. It was just a neighborhood buddy. So, yeah, I don't trust the meat. No. I don't trust the grocery stores with the meat. Because at some point they had this, they still got it. $20 for 4 packets of meat. The last time I ate that, my face turned green. And everything was green after I finished. It was bad. So I don't trust the meat at the grocery store. I don't trust the meat that they bring to the grocery store. Whatever happened to incognito meat or whatever you call that crap? I wasn't eating that either. Why was it incognito? They're messing with our food, y'all. We got to pay attention.
All right, Chef, can you tell us the 3 secret ingredients that might be found in this amazing sausage that you made for us today?
The 3 secret ingredients that might be found in the sausage are fish liver, human flesh, or shark.
Are those really the 3 ingredients?
Yeah, fish liver, human flesh,
Everybody
or
stop.
shark.
You guys.
She said, huh?
Is that? And that's just there's a stigma surrounding this particular protein.
Clear it. We're good.
It's time to go punch him in the face.
All right. Yo. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. All right, Joe. Fish liver, shark,
or human flesh?
Still sound crazy.
Better be shark.
All right, 2. What do you think it's gonna be?
Shark 2.
Shark?
The liver is like too obvious, and I don't think it's human flesh, so I think it's shark.
Chef Keith, can you tell us what is the secret ingredient in this dish?
Yes, I'm afraid you're both wrong. It is human flesh.
No. No.
Ain't no.
That's not okay. That's
This
not all
is
right.
renewable protein.
Well, hey, all right.
No,
Are you
that's
sure?
disgusting.
No, I didn't know it was gonna go like this either.
That's really disgusting.
So jump on his face.
Yeah, of course.
With your fist.
That's.
I don't condone
I'm gonna
violence,
go
but
throw up.
sometimes.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna go throw up. I need a bucket.
Wait, just have it. Can you? Here, we'll get you something right now. Yeah, bring a bucket in. You guys, come on, get a bucket in here right now.
Bring a bucket in here.
You okay?
Yeah, that's some next level. So I would have loved to know when I was eating human flesh before I ate it.
This is very popular in my restaurant. You thought it was delicious. You said it was delicious, and I think there's a stigma about it. Think about it. Every day, 60,000 new sources of protein in this country alone.
Would like someone die and then you make it?
How else would we make it?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
many small villages.
All right. I apologize very much for this. We're gonna stop shooting this right now. We're gonna do another show called Fameless. It's David Spade's new prank show.
Better be a joke. The other girl, she probably ain't coming back. Maybe she was in on the joke.
Jimbo, why don't you assist lunch lady Doris in the kitchen?
The Simpsons always tell us.
Hot when you keep spilling meat tenderizer all over me. Oh, great. Now I gotta work in the dark.
This sandwich tastes so young and impudent. Seymour, what's with the good grab?
Well, perhaps I ought to let you folks in on a secret. You remember me telling Jimbo Jones that I'd make something of him one day?
Are you saying you killed Jimbo, processed his carcass, and served him for lunch?
It's the Simpsons. You gotta laugh.
I wonder where Jimbo is today. He should have been for our lunch money an hour ago.
Oh, lunch lady, please to have another sloppy Jimbo. How's the school night?
No, that's your third helping, young man. It's making you fat and soft and tender. You just cut in line, didn't you? Reported attention, Ooter.
For how long?
7 minutes a pound should do it.
Okay, I got your German grub right here.
Bart, does it strike you as odd that Uter disappeared and suddenly they're serving us this mysterious food called Uterbraten?
Oh, relax, kids. I've got a gut feeling Ooter's around here somewhere. After all, isn't there a little Ooter in all of us? In fact, you might even say we just ate Ooter and he's in our stomachs right now. Wait, scratch that one.
Mom, you've gotta help. They're cooking kids in the school cafeteria.
Listen, kids, you're 8 and 10 years old now. I can't be fighting all your battles for you.
But Mom...
No buts. You march right back to that school, look them straight in the eye and say, don't eat me.
Okay.
And no license plate. No license plate. Did you see that?
Nah, I ain't even gonna lie, when I first saw that, I was creeped out, bro, for real. It looked like flesh or like grounded meat, and I couldn't tell from where. So I was just gonna go by, but then I did some research. Look what I found. Baumgartner Family Funeral Service and Crematorium. That's the same design on that truck. Which made me ask questions like, why would they have a funeral service and a crematorium and then have a truck or freight truck carrying pounds of meat across the city? Like, this doesn't add up unless there's something they're not telling you. Maybe Soylent Green is real. Maybe we don't have enough cows to supply everybody in America. Because Things are looking suspicious.
This is similar to that of freeze drying.
When they're feeding the dead to the living, you know the end is near. Check out this death chamber, this washing machine. They call it aquamation, where they liquefy the dead and then dump the remains down the drain to be recycled into the municipal water supply. And so people are drinking it, they're showering in it, they're doing their laundry in it, and this is happening in most states across the country. In most major cities, they're recycling dead people and feeding it to the living. What does that mean exactly? And they're grinding up the bones into powder. They call this calcium phosphate, which is going to be used for food processing, undoubtedly. Maybe in your vitamins. And so what are the implications when people start eating dead people, like cannibalism? Is there going to be kuru running around out there? Mad cow disease? What about in a spiritual sense? What is that like when you're eating and drinking dead people? Of course, they're spraying this on the food supply. Irrigation. They're using dead people as compost. And people are drinking it. So what does that mean? What does that feel like? Ladies and gentlemen, obviously this is another satanic ritual that's being performed before our very eyes. And essentially people are being raped by this death juice as they're forced to drink it. Talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. Now they're drinking dead people in the major cities. That's why they're all crazy in these big cities. They're drinking dead people, and they don't even know it, for the most part. And they keep finding human DNA in the food supply. What do you think that's all about? It's probably not just aquamation, but they're probably grinding babies and who knows what else in these meat processing plants so that people will eat human flesh without even knowing it. That's how these cult members get their kicks, ladies and gentlemen, quite literally. So aquamation has been around for about 10 years now, and it's spread to nearly every state and every major city because they're running out of space, they say, in the cemeteries. They just can't build a new one outside of town, so they're going to liquefy you. And it's like the movie The Matrix. How long?
Okay, that's the end of the video, but I do want to touch on a couple of subjects. When it comes to biblical, and we know that in the Bible, and I'm not a verse-for-verse person, so it's really difficult for me to give you specifics, but we know that in the Bible, we are not supposed to eat each other. The demonic aspect of it is that they are doing this to us unknowingly. We are not willing to do this. They're doing it to us. But God, our Father, who knows that we are ignorant to these things, that those demonic forces are placing upon us, He will forgive us because we don't know. Again, we've probably been being force-fed this, humans, our ancestors, whatever, for a long, long time. And it's not fair and it's not right. I just think about the scientists who come up with these ideas. You know, regular people become scientists. When they decide to be a scientist, do they Are there people who walk away from the job saying, oh, no, this isn't right? Or does everyone have a price? You know, do they come home and tell their family, don't eat such and such? Because, hey, this is what we do when we're at work. Do they sign NDAs? What's going on? What's wrong with the world? It makes you not trust anybody at all. Can't trust the government. Can't trust the food supply. Can't trust the water supply. Can't trust the people who bury us. We entrust them to treat the bodies with dignity and whatnot. Can't trust nobody, man. It's not right. It's not right. But that's the end of the video. Thank you for joining. TSDitto Reacts. Please come back. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. And look for my next video. Again, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys. To the next video.